Hi, Elijah here. Before we get started, I'd like to shout out our top tier patrons, Nikki, Sean, Mace, and Alan. Thank you so much for your support. If you would like a shout out and access to our bonus content, you can find us on patreon.com/dandiesindanger. For a one-time shout out, you can also support us on ko-fi.com/dandiesindanger. As always, the best way you can help us grow is to tell your friends, subscribe, leave a review, or leave a positive rating. Thank you all so much for listening. And now, on with the show.
Previously on Dandies in Danger.
All right, Adrian Edwards, you and Liam walk towards Mr. Keen's room. I have found several locked doors on the second floor, and at the very top of the house, there is a doorway where one might find an attic, but there's no doorway there. I could speak with some of the other guests, and you could seek out these locked rooms and create a fuss to draw Lord Bush here. Let's give them a signal, shall we? At which point we shall evacuate them.
The stairwell does have impressive acoustics.
Mr. Pritchard, do you still have the Book of Spells? And if it's true that anyone can learn this, I don't see why I shouldn't try my hand at it.
You have to understand, if I trust you with this, I'm trusting you with something precious.
I think you'll find that it's worthwhile, Mr. Wilkos.
I've no doubt you've got the brain, I just hope you have the heart.
I trust you have both.
You said you were going towards the dining room, yes?
Yeah.
Zachary, you feel the sensation of a protective ward, except rather than keeping anything from the outside from coming in, it's keeping everything inside from getting out. You hear the echoing sound of distant knocking, and then a raspy, guttural scream, and then silence.
Hi, my name is Elijah, my pronouns are he, him, and I play the voice of Zachary Wilkos.
Hello, I'm Cass, my pronouns are she, her, and I voice Liam Bardsley.
Hi, I'm Chess, he, she, they, and I voice Daniel Pritchard.
Hi, I'm Toast, pronoun she, they, and I play Adrian Edwards.
So, as we had left off last time, we are entering into the last half of the 11 o'clock hour, and we will depart from Daniel and Zachary at the moment that they heard bam, bam, they heard the banging up somewhere in the house because they are on the ground floor. And then they also heard a hoarse shout. And now
there's a horse in here. I'm really sorry.
Horse shout.
Did we heard a
okay.
horse, Winnie?
H-O-A-R-S.
Yeah.
Oh,
do you want me to re-deliver that one?
No, I think we should keep this in fact. This is good flavor text.
Nay!
Help! Okay, we're going to rewind time just a teensy bit to dial us back to the moment that Liam and Adrian on the first floor have just left the choral room where we've agreed on a plan of action with Mr. Keen. Liam and Adrian, of course, do not have the information that Daniel and Zachary have, that the entire building is slowly in the process of magically locking itself up, trapping everyone inside. So, we walk out full of resolve. Resolve?
Adrian's walking down the hall, and Liam could probably see him. He's like kind of counting on his fingers, and he's muttering like the names of the people in the house and trying to figure out like who would be most likely to actually listen to them. Maybe they're walking and talking, but Adrian stops and he kind of puts his hand on Liam, and he's like, Liam, I don't know if we can get everyone out before midnight. I don't think there's any possible way every single one of them would listen to us about this. I mean, were the positions reversed, I wouldn't listen to me.
Well, God, this is just like the ship all over again. We tried to, things went very poorly. I mean, you do have a point. Whenever I tried to explain that the ship was cursed to that one fellow, he reacted rather badly.
He turns to Liam and he says, I'm not trying to do, again, what I did do on the ship. I'm not trying to say we can't do this because I don't want to. I'm scared. I don't know if we can get all of these people out of here before something terrible happens.
When Adrian says that he's scared, Liam, his demeanor, which was businesslike before, thaws a little bit. Well, there was one thing that we said when we were with Mr. Keene, which was to see if we could bring Lord Bush out of hiding or make him show himself in some way.
I think I could handle trying to attack an old man. Apparently I've done it before.
That's true.
How did I look when I did it?
Was it really cool?
Was it capable?
It was not.
Well,
I think Adrian's tackled every single opponent we've
Yeah.
had.
Yeah.
you have a lot of vehemence, which I find a little bit worrying, to be perfectly honest. You really
It just
throw yourself into a situation
Seems
like
like
this.
the most direct route.
Well, that
They
might-
never expect it.
it might
Starter
be-
Pokemon energy,
Yeah.
really. Cry and tackle.
Mhm.
Well, we've already told Mr. Keene that we're going to try to... Is
I
there any
know-
way... Perhaps we could just...
I don't know, I'm worried. I know we just told him to get everyone out, but I have a terrible feeling we're going to get everyone out into the halls, and then midnight will strike and they'll be descended upon by some terrible spectre of Lord Bush's doing.
How about we go from room to room and we ask them to stay awake and stay alert, because...
This is absurd.
Well, we can't just let everyone
Uh,
into danger.
should we try to find that one locked room Mr. Keene mentioned? Perhaps if we break down the door, if you don't mind. We could see if Lord Bush is in there.
Which you would be doing, because I can't do that.
If we could just find Lord Bush...
Yeah.
Surely he's got to be in this locked room, or perhaps the attic. But we could at least cross it off.
We should run.
They're going to Bush without Daniel and Zachary?
I guess.
Guys, wait for me.
Wait for the only person who can do magic.
Hi, remember?
I know how to tackle old men, okay?
Adrian's got this.
fine.
Yeah. Liam can pray to God, and Adrian will tackle an old man and cry.
Yes.
Yeah.
Got this.
That is the moment that we hear the knocking, and from our location on the first floor, I'd like you to roll your d20, give me a wisdom roll, and don't forget that you are down 1 wisdom because we are sleepy.
19.
Excellent. Liam got a 23. So
Wow.
we can both confidently tell that this is coming from the very top of the manor house.
Oh no. Like attic or staff level? Or is that both?
We've only been up as far as the staff level, so that's floor 3. We also hear the scream, and with both of us having rolled so well, and with our acquaintance, we're both able to tell that that was a shout from Colonel Marshall Gurney.
My god.
Oh, they're getting it on already?
No.
Stop it. Cutting the tension with humor.
Sorry.
You're going to make it very difficult for me to compose scary music.
Sorry.
Adrian grabs Liam's arm and he says, "That sounded like the Colonel."
You're right. Let's go.
Yeah, they
And
run.
so we run up.
Should we take any fright?
Yeah. Thank you. Let's do the normal thing with fright, which is that we're going to roll 1d8.
D8. Okay, hang on.
Yeah. Sometimes as DM, I just say, oh, just take a little bit, just take this, just take that. But this time we're doing proper rules.
Well, I'm at full fright now.
And Liam is 1 away from full fright.
Oh boy.
So he's just barely holding on
Oh.
by a tether. Okay, so we are going to just dash up, I assume, the echoing staircase, because that's the one we would have to take to get up to the attic. I'm also going to jump back down to Zachary and Daniel. You have also, we're now in bullet time. You heard this scream, and you were actually just hiding from a member of staff who came in to check and say, is everybody ready to go to their room now for
Right.
the evening?
Yeah.
So
Daniel's still under the table.
you've heard the scream. Action.
Zachary says, "Come on, Daniel," and runs towards the door.
He scrambles out from under the table. Wait, you're going to go towards it?
Of course.
Please, both of you roll me a d20, add your wisdom.
Ah, natural 1.
Oh,
wait,
damn.
Give me. 13.
Okay. Zachary, you are confident that this shout came from the kitchens.
Mm.
You are confident that it came from the kitchens, and you're thinking, out in that garden, that's where we saw Tabitha's ghost the first time. This has got to be in the kitchens. Daniel, with a moderate success, you think it came from somewhere up higher. So you're fairly confident it was actually not in the kitchens, but you can't tell, like, exactly which floor it's from.
Let's go. He came this way.
Where are you going?
The kitchens.
Why?
Because that's where the screen came from, obviously.
No, it didn't. It came from, like, upstairs or something.
You were under a table. How can you possibly tell?
You're confident that it's in the kitchen?
Yes. We're wasting time.
Can I have, like, him, like,
A snack.
roll persuasion at me or something?
Yeah. Please roll and add influence for Daniel.
I got a nat 20.
Nice.
So I don't
Very
believe
nice.
you.
Okay.
Yeah, you are very, very confident that it did not come from the kitchens.
You've got to be mad. It came from upstairs. And he, in fact, grabs Zachary's arm and starts to drag him upstairs.
And Zachary follows him because you rolled a 20. He doesn't really fight Daniel, but he does go with Daniel.
I want to dig into that a little bit. Why would Zachary decide to trust Daniel in this moment?
Because he's taller, so his ears are better. No.
Is Zachary having any sort of self-doubt, confidence wavering?
No,
or-
right. I'm sorry. The actual answer is that Daniel never grabs him, so if Daniel's, like, very sure about something, he's probably usually going to trust the other person. It would be the same if it was Adrian or if it was Liam, and it is part just, like, a confidence issue, and also that he knows Daniel so well that, like, oh, I guess, okay, it's really not the case. So it's very easy for him to self-doubt.
He grabs him like a K-drama. It's slow motion for a second, and then there's like 3 different shots of Zachary turning around to look at him.
Where they're both clearly standing still but posed as if they're running.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's like this like gentle music playing, and it's da 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 da, and it's the show's main theme, but it's
Yeah.
played 1,000 times.
So I'm going to take us, smash cut, up to the 3rd floor as Adrian and Liam come puffing up the stairs. We arrive at the level where Adrian has been before to investigate Molly Campbell. As we run up the stairs, we find Father Underwood is in great distress. You see that Colonel Marshall Gurney has been laid flat out on the floor, and Father Underwood is leaned over him, just saying, Marshall, 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 snap out of it, Marshall, what's happened? And
Adrian runs up and slaps him across the face. He doesn't.
He slaps Underwood. Get over it!
he's gone, man.
He's gone. Get it through your head.
Girl, get up. Imagine fainting at a grown-ass age of whatever the fuck you are.
He's just constantly slapped people who are unconscious, but he won't.
Okay.
I also had to cut the tension with humor.
Yeah. Good luck, Chess, composing for this.
Yeah.
The idea of Underwood just like distressed, and then someone comes in and says, "Hey!" slaps him right on the face. What are you worried about?
Okay, Adrian, he runs up as well. I think he says, he probably goes, Colonel, and he runs up. And then he, I don't know, kneels down next to him and maybe starts to undo his collar or cravat to, like, check a pulse, make sure he's breathing.
Slap him in the neck.
Just fucking choke him out.
I thought you were about to say nuts.
Yeah, give him a little nut tap.
Oh, fuck. We are so
That'll wake
on
him
it
up.
today.
That'll wake him up.
So the Colonel actually comes to a little bit as you're sort of like trying to bring him back to consciousness.
Adrian will ask Underwood, what's happened?
He's not paying attention to you. He's just checking on...
Then Adrian grabs his arm more firmly and kind of shakes him, and he's like, Father Underwood, what happened?
We were attacked. We were attacked. There was a...
By a man? An old man?
No, there was a woman there.
A woman? It wasn't Miss Campbell.
No, it wasn't possible. She was standing over. There was banging on the wall, and then we saw her, and she turned around, and there was a green light, and she accosted Marshall. She accosted the Colonel, and I would like you to roll a wisdom to examine the Colonel.
Can I add my medical knowledge? I have that.
Yes, please do.
Yay.
Hell yeah.
This 18th century medical knowledge. He's like, what? Now listen, we need to get a pair of bellows and stick them right up his bum.
Leeches.
Get
Leeches is
smoke
the
up
thing.
there. 15 in total, if I'm doing my math right.
On all accounts, Adrian, with his, like, old knowledge, is kind of a quack. We have, like, a quack doctor.
Yeah, he's like, we should be eating more mummies.
And I think I just really like that for our team.
Yeah.
All right, I'm sorry.
I'm a doctor.
So, as you are examining Colonel Gurney, you notice, most remarkably, that in the sclera of his eye, so the white of his eyes, there is a greenish tinge. And the vessels are very pronounced. His face is very flush. And as I assume, you've undone his cravat a little bit, so you're checking his pulse. He has a very abnormal pulse. And then depending on if you ask him how he's feeling, he might give you more information.
Adrian's hand, goes to his pocket where the vial is. I don't think he pulls it out because there's nothing in there. And he's not going to try to stick the Colonel's tongue in there. But I guess he'll say, Colonel, can you hear me?
Yes, of course. I just, I took a bit of a tumble. It happens at my age, sometimes. Not usually.
Well, Underwood says there was a woman here who was glowing green.
Yes, quite a sight that was. I assumed it was one of the staff, and she was banging somewhat forcefully on the walls over there. Oh, my hands are tingling.
This isn't good. My doctor knowledge stops here.
I'm all right. I've fared far worse than this before in my youth. Just help me up, won't you? I'm a little off balance, but I'm quite all right.
Adrian looks at Liam as if to give him the eyeballs and be like, should we tell them it's ghosts?
Liam is going to help Colonel Gurney get back to his feet.
What were you doing up here?
Well, you said that we ought to be looking around for anything strange in the house after the gentleman's bath hour, and, well, you mentioned especially green stains, and, well, there you are.
And he gestures, and there's a series of small green stains now going up towards the attic. And now the attic is up on another landing, and so you can't quite see, but the stains follow this one stairway up towards the attic past that suit of armor.
And as you see, well, there's the stains, but there was a woman, not any of the guests that we had seen, so I called out to her, and there was... I can't quite explain it.
Well, the two of you need to get back to your rooms. There is something quite nefarious going on. You may have been exposed to forces beyond this plane.
Back to their rooms? I thought you were trying to get them out.
It's too late.
How do you know?
Because it's getting close to midnight and he knows something bad is going to happen. He's just worried it'll strike midnight before they get, out of the house. And the Colonel's, green like Emily, so he's worried.
Liam speaks up. We were talking about Lord Bush and his interest in the occult. Do you two think that might have any credit to it? Father Underwood is pacing, and he's the one who's closest to the attic. But as he looks past Adrian's shoulder, so behind you, Adrian, he gives a shout.
Molly.
And you turn around, and Molly is standing stock still in the doorway of the room where you left her to rest. But she says,
Leonard. Colonel Gurney. Mr. Bardsley. Mr. Edwards. Are you ready to retire to your rooms for the evening?
Pray tell, why?
It would be rude to the other guests to be traipsing around longer than that, of course.
Okay. Adrian just turns to Liam and the rest of them again.
I think by this point, Daniel and Zachary, you will have been able to make your way up through the floors. Let me know about your process. As you go up, are you going to examine each floor?
So you said that I could tell it came from above, but not necessarily where it came from. So I think he would take some time on the second floor to make sure it didn't come from there.
Zachary, how are you searching? Are you just going to be looking around at the walls?
Well, Zachary's looking for the source of the noise with Daniel. So if Daniel looks down one hall, Zachary's probably looking down the other and just saying, nope, nobody, let's go up another floor.
Yeah, I think he would peek down the hallways, but he might also be worried. Could I tell that it was in a hallway? The quality of the sound was in a hallway, or it was behind a closed door?
With your moderate success, not particularly.
Is anybody else sticking their heads out, having heard the scream and the knocking?
Yeah, because if it was loud enough to reach to the first floor, or any of the other guests, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so then he would look up and he would peek down the hallways, and if he sees someone poking their heads out, he'd say, "Did you hear that?
Is everybody all right down here?"
Did you say you made it up to the second floor?
You said we made it up to the second floor.
Wait, ground floor, first floor, second floor?
Yeah.
Okay, then, all right, he's on the first floor.
First floor, okay. On the first floor, you're passing through, and notably, Dorothea does not poke her head out. She's in one of the rooms that's sort of towards the front of where you are. She does not poke her head out, but Miss Audley does poke her head out. And she's standing there. She's sort of got a bit of a banyan already wrapped around her, like she was getting ready for her evening, but she is not shy whatsoever about walking out with her little wrap and her little slippers on. And she still has the pipe. And she says, "What's this? More of a party happening?"
And I could tell that it was a man's scream.
With a moderate, I'll say you couldn't tell who it was, but you could tell that it was a man's scream.
Daniel would probably knock on Dorothea's door.
She doesn't respond.
He's a little worried about that. He knocks again.
No response.
He assumes she's not there, and maybe she is investigating the scream for herself. I guess he wouldn't say anything to Audley. I think he would keep moving.
Where are you going?
I think he'd try going up the second floor.
Answer me, young man. Where are you going?
He'd be like, "Did you hear it from above or below?"
I believe it came from above us. And she's
All right,
actually
and then-
going to start shuffling out after you. She's like, all right.
She's in it now. She has to know, and I love that
she's
about
gotta
her.
know.
He's like, "Thank you," and then he starts going up to the second floor. And
Well-
he grabs Zachary to come with him.
What?
Miss Audley will also be accompanying you. Not quite as quickly. She's not in a rush, but she is also just sort of like, well, I want to know what's happening.
Yes.
If we get in a fight, she's one of our fighting characters. Throws the pipe at them.
No, she's got vicious taunt.
Oh yeah, she's got vicious.
Yeah, she's got
mockery.
vicious mockery.
Yeah.
Her husband is a summon.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Okay, so you're up to the second floor.
Anyone poking their heads out?
At the very far end of the hallway, as you're coming up, you see Sylvester T. Higgins poking his head out. And he's got on one of those little sleepy nighttime hats, like a little Scrooge or an Ichabod Crane or something like that. And he comes out and he's blustering and he says, "Who's making all of this racket? You know how much I paid to be here And he sees Daniel. He makes eye contact with you at the end of the hallway. And he's just like, "Keep it down." And he goes back into his room.
Wait, just a moment. Did you hear it from above or on this floor?
Well, it came from above us, didn't it?
All right, thank you. And then he goes up. Then he goes up to the third floor.
Okay. You have now arrived at the third floor as we are in this conversation with Miss Campbell. She's encouraging us to go back down, go to sleep. You two would be able to see the scene where we're standing. Liam is supporting Colonel Gurney a little bit. He doesn't look very well. And you can also see the green stains that are on the wall leading up towards the attic.
Oh, dear. I would think it came from here.
Zachary, you specifically, you can feel the sensation that you have felt before in the presence of Tabitha's ghost. I'm going to go ahead and say Tabitha's ghost.
Yeah.
Ta-ta-ta-ta, you solved it several episodes ago.
Upon seeing them, Adrian would probably be like, "Zachary, Daniel, I think these two have had an encounter with Miss Tabitha Blythe."
I should say so.
This is Father Underwood turns to Adrian. This was not natural.
I know.
So this...
There's ghosts, I'm sorry.
There is ghosts.
Wait, weren't they on board with it? They're like, "Ooh, something ooky."
But they didn't.
Going
But they didn't
on.
know it was actually ghosts. They were just like, "Ooh, maybe there's like intrigue and like little occult stuff. Like that's kind of
Exactly.
fun."
They thought that
What
it was
did
kind
they
of
think
like...
occult stuff was?
Okay, so
curious.
Weird rich guys doing rituals.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah,
in
just
their
like something to
underwear.
gossip
yeah,
about.
this is...
Yeah.
Yeah. Wait, deliver that again?
Weird rich guys doing rituals in their underwear.
Exactly,
Yeah.
yes. That's the
okay.
perfect way of putting it. So Father Underwood, previous to this, was like, okay, so there's something weird going on with my friend Molly, that she won't come home. So that's kind of weird. But again, these folks are like not encountering the supernatural at the same rate that our lads are. But now they have. And so they seem fairly inclined to believe that yes, in fact, something supernatural has happened at this point. Is he going to be all right?
Probably.
I honestly don't know. If we can resolve what's happening here, maybe.
You know what would resolve this lovely is a good night's sleep, gentlemen.
Miss Campbell.
Mr. Edwards.
Doctor, actually.
Dr. Edwards, of course. Forgive me.
Quack, Dr.
That was
Edwards.
not my place to refer to you so familiarly.
No, I'm sorry. But the thing is, perhaps you ought to retire to bed, and we'll be along. Just off to bed.
All right, and so everyone is going to make their move. She stands in the doorway to watch everyone as we
Adrian
walk
doesn't
back down.
move. No, he wasn't
Oh.
planning to leave. He was
He
just
wasn't-
trying to get
okay.
her to go turn around.
She
close
doesn't
her
turn
door.
around. She's just standing there.
I think they both are just staring at each other. Go on.
Where is the attic door in
cannot-
relation to her?
we cannot see the attic because there is a stairway, a continuation, more or less, of the echoing stairway that leads up towards the attic, but it rounds a corner.
I see.
So all you are able to see are a set of stairs leading up towards a landing where there is a window and then a suit of armor in front of this window. And then the stairs turn and then continue to go up. So Miss Campbell is not blocking our way. She is merely observing us.
Okay.
I guess we're on our way to go back to our beds then.
Yes, here we go.
Yep, bye. And then-
You hear Miss Audley saying from downstairs, she's like, back to bed already? I haven't seen what's going on up there. And she's trying to like shimmy her way up towards...
Let's fucking go.
Oh, Miss Audley, I think Miss Campbell would like to speak with you.
Adrian just looks at him.
Why?
It's for distraction.
You're just still telling her to come up here.
Yeah, sure, fine.
You want me? Okay, we're gonna do some rolling here in just a second. She comes in conspiratorially, pulling her little banyan across her shoulders. You want me to speak to Miss Camp, one of the staff?
Yes.
Why have a fall? Are you all Oh, you don't look very well, Colonel Gurney.
She has all the answers.
She does not.
I'm confused.
Please, you are all driving me insane. I am trying to distract the staff with Miss Audley.
I thought you were trying to distract Miss Audley.
I'm going to hit you over the head with a candlestick.
Oh, look.
This is all well and good. We just had a misunderstanding, that's all. So,
Zachary's just listening to this whole thing like, oh my god.
Miss Audley, we're rather in the middle of something very dramatic and we will fill you in afterwards. It's actually very important that we fill you in afterwards, but we do need your help because the staff is insisting that we head back to our rooms, but there's something very important we need to look into beforehand. Do you mind speaking to Miss Campbell?
Please ask her to get some ice for your feet or something.
Or get something for Colonel. He's unwell. Tell her to go fetch something.
Oh, all right. Well, why didn't you say so? Of course, it's a little game.
Just be really, really, really careful.
Be extremely
You're right. This is the young lady who caused a bit of a stir.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, I know.
See,
Can I shout for help if she starts to,
Certainly, please.
Certainly,
Okay.
absolutely, yes.
Daniel, I would like you to roll with your influence and let me see what your standing is with Miss Audley.
I would like to know where Nathaniel is.
I got a 13.
Okay, so you're amicable with her, which is not quite enough to add to any sort of influence type rolls. So you got a 13, that's a moderate. Let's have Zachary, Liam, and Adrian. Let's have all of us roll with our influence, and I'm going to see if that's enough to help. Because moderate is pretty good, and she is interested in the goings-ons, so she's not opposed to this necessarily.
I have a 15.
Adrian also got 15.
Liam did not do very well at all. I think Liam got a 6.
Oh, yeah.
And so, since the two of you did also roll higher than Daniel, I think that's enough as a group for her to decide to go up, and she's going to ask Miss Campbell for a bit of ice for Colonel Gurney. So that'll give us a little bit of time. Since if it had been a success, we would have had more time before somebody comes to check up on us, but now we have a little bit of time before somebody comes to check up on what we were doing.
Nice.
So I assume that Zachary is going to try to follow the trail of green stains up towards the attic?
Yes, you assume correctly.
Okay.
Adrian's going to turn to Underwood again and say, please take the Colonel to his room, and both of you stay there.
We're going to try to do something. I think everyone is in terrible danger while we're here, as you could see. And just stay awake in your room, but try not to go out because we suspect that something nefarious might be afoot, but we think that you'll be safe in there for now. So the two of you just help keep each other awake, and then hopefully Miss Audley or the staff will be by with some ice for Colonel Gurney.
Yes, stay in your rooms. Nobody can leave the house.
Adrian looks at Zachary like, why? Did you learn something?
Nobody can leave the house even if they wanted to.
Oh, hell's bells.
I don't know how, I just can feel it.
Okay. Adrian is going to fretfully run to the echoing staircase and shout, Mr. Keene!
Mom!
Yeah.
Mom!
Yeah, okay.
He's going to say, keep everyone in their rooms, actually.
Okay, that's what you're going to say. Okay.
Yeah. We can't evacuate.
Okay.
Everyone can hear this.
Yep.
Yeah, it is the echoing staircase.
Everyone's going to be like, what do you mean evacuate?
We can't what?
Thanks for inciting panic, Adrian.
Look, he's sleepy and full frightened.
Look at Cassidy's face. She's like, well, how do I write you guys out of this one? And I'll tell you, that's what I felt.
I'm so excited, and
yeah.
I
The curtains
am...
fall. The curtains up.
Hang on.
This
Drawn
is
back.
better than me drinking a full bottle of laudanum, don't you think?
This is actually better than you drinking a full bottle of laudanum.
Daniel goes at him
Thank
and says,
you.
I'm going to throw you down the staircase.
Not if I throw you first. I mean,
And then they just get into like a sibling slap fight.
yeah. Look, you don't know what I've been doing. I don't know what you've been doing, but we're all doing our best.
I would actually like you to roll me a d12.
12.
Roll it.
Yes.
Aren't there 12 guests? How many guests can live by the end of it? How many guests can hear? Oh, bitch!
Oh, no.
Let's fucking go!
8.
She's writing a lot.
Oh, no.
What are you doing?
Let's head on up.
Wait, so, okay, you're not going to tell us what just happened?
No.
Of course not.
No.
Okay.
You don't know.
Secret.
You're not omniscient.
One thing, though, I do want to use my observation token, if
Yeah.
I'm allowed, and this is before Colonel Gurney has gone down, and because Colonel Gurney is also a little green around the gills, I want to see if there's anything of use or importance in understanding what happened to Colonel Gurney, and et cetera, et cetera.
Lovely. A wonderful use of the witness token. So actually, you will get a pretty good amount of information from this.
Fuck yeah. Wait, hold still. I have to really look at you.
You grab him by the mustache and spin him around. So you do notice, visually speaking, that his eyes do have that same sort of green tint to it that Emily's has. And you magically, you can sense that sensation that you have felt whenever Tabitha is around is now being embodied within him. So you can recall from your conversation earlier that Tabitha also had an illness, same as Emily. And so, since you have fully used a witness token for this, I'm going to give you a little bit of insight that you remember when you were in the garden, you were being pursued by Tabitha and the light had been slowly approaching you, turning towards you. You weren't there for the exposition that the Colonel gave whenever he said that she had turned and approached them, but you just get this gut feeling that if Tabitha catches you, this is what happens.
You saw Tabitha.
Is that the name of that woman? I couldn't see her face. She ran right through me.
A ghost. Yes, you saw her. She ran right through you.
Yes, I thought perhaps I was sleep deprived or something like that.
Did you see a light?
That's all there was. It just washed over me and I was on the floor. I feel quite ill, if I'm perfectly honest.
Adrian looks at Zachary and squints and says, is she possessing him in some way?
I wouldn't say possessing. Tabitha had a sickness before she passed.
Like Emily's?
Yes, and now it's spreading. But for what purpose, I don't know. This obviously isn't a normal sickness, but I'm concerned that this is a sickness more with purpose than derived from nature. We have to figure this out.
Magical curse?
Perhaps.
He turns towards Father Underwood and he says, I don't understand.
What are they saying? I've caught an illness from a ghost. Am I going to be all right?
Father Underwood says, you'll be fine. We'll see that you're all right and that we get you out of here and that we get Molly out of here. And then we're going to leave this godforsaken place behind. This is not right.
I recommend for now that you stay in your rooms, just as everybody else has said. We have to go, but watch each other. Do not open the doors.
Adrian is going to take the vial out and give it to the Colonel. This is empty, but I don't know. Try to take a whiff of it. Might help.
The medicine vial?
Well, it lessens Emily's sickness.
Might do something for the Colonel, but there's nothing in it.
He's sniffing it and he says,
It
Just
doesn't
don't
really smell like anything.
Don't worry about where it's come from.
you
Just go to your rooms.
can also hear now footsteps on the stair.
All right. You have to go. We have to go. Ta-ra.
Zachary starts heading up the stairs.
Okay. Daniel, I'm going to give you one of your witness tokens. Something's kind of stinky up here.
Uh-oh.
What kind of stink? Like sulfur?
Nope. It is rotten.
Rotten, like fecal matter?
Rotten like rat in the walls.
rotten dead
Closer to
thing?
rat in the walls.
I've had rat in the
actually.
walls. That shit sucks.
Yeah, it's actually kind of smells like rat in the walls.
Okay, so like something dead.
And so we are walking all the way up towards where we assume the attic is going to be. We get there, and there is no door. There is simply a wall. And this is something that Mr. Keene had mentioned from his exploration of the house. Now, while there is no door there, the majority of the green stains are concentrated here. And I'm going to use one of Liam's witness tokens to say, look there again, I think I see red peeking out again. Just the same as before, I think there's something there if we can pull the paint back where the green is concentrated. Liam is going to move forward to try to pull away some of the paint.
Zachary quietly has his hand, and I believe Zachary still has his angel feather. It says so in my thing, so he quietly has a hand over the breast pocket where he keeps the angel feather and the orange leaf that he normally has on him. So he's just waiting for something to happen.
Yeah, Adrian will go help peel.
Okay, Adrian's going to help peel.
Zachary's just watching to protect them.
Daniel looks to Zachary and he's like, stinks like demons.
Zachary nods. Be on your guard.
I've got an angel feather too, and his hand kind of goes over that as well.
So it's kind of like we're putting our hands over our hearts for them. Like they're the real patriots of the fucking manor. Oh, say, can you see
All the creepy writing.
in the green manor?
Yes.
As the walls are still peeling. Oh!
There you go.
Do we end the episode there? Or do we...
I'm sorry, I'm going to end us on something else.
Okay, cool.
Thank you.
I really like that, though.
Thank you. I didn't.
So, I'm going to do a quick roll.
Are the footsteps still coming?
The footsteps paused, and
Because they heard us singing the American anthem.
Like, what song is that?
Hello?
It's not our anthem.
the footsteps paused, and you assumed that whatever footsteps were ascending the stairs met with Colonel Gurney and Father Underwood as they were going down the stairs. So that bought you a little bit of time. But the next person who comes through the stairs actually is going to be the return of Miss Audley, followed by Miss Campbell.
Oh.
Are they walking up to where we are?
You all are towards this wall, and so that means you are around the corner, and they cannot see you.
And we
So
don't know they've even come up.
You've heard a little bit of noise because,
Yeah, but we don't know it's them.
yeah, you don't know it's that. Well, I mean, you can actually hear Miss Audley talking.
Okay.
She's talking at a fairly normal volume. I would like everyone to just roll a straight D20.
I want Daniel to be like, and like try to let them know, like, he like touches them on the shoulder, like
Yeah,
puts a hand on his finger over his mouth and is silent, touches them on the shoulder and is like,
Yeah, I'll give you that since you were specifically hanging off from peeling the wall. You were hanging off to guard.
yeah.
Are we adding anything to this?
Nope, it's just the regular success
For the
brackets.
third time in a row, I have gotten a 14.
Wow.
I got a 17.
I got a 6.
Okay.
I feel like Daniel taps everyone and is like, shh, and Adrian's like, what?
Zachary has a plan to push somebody into some shadows should something go wrong. Yeah, just yoink them in.
Are there shadows on a
Is it lit?
wall?
The only lighting here at the moment is coming from the window and the occasional flash of lightning outside.
So it's quite dark.
It's quite dark, yeah.
Spooky.
To our
Yeah.
advantage.
It actually works out fantastically because Miss Campbell got a 1.
Oh, great.
However, Miss Audley got a 22. So she knows what's up. You can hear her conversing a little bit with Miss Campbell. She says something to the effect of like, oh, I believe I found something of Colonel Gurney's here. Let me pick it up and I'll take it down to him. You go ahead. You go get his ice. And so you can hear, since everybody is waiting with bated breath, you can hear Miss Campbell descend the stairs. And a short moment afterwards, you are greeted by the sight of Eleanor Audley standing there on the landing next to the suit of armor. Everything all right up there, boys?
Hey, what's going on? How you doing?
Yes, Miss Audley, it's a bit dangerous here. Perhaps you should be in your room.
Yes, it's awfully dark.
Pish posh.
I
are you doing with it?
hadn't considered that. You're right. Actually, see, she makes a valid argument.
Adrian's just like, should I tell her? Should I tell her?
You've already screamed it down the stairs, Adrian, so why not?
I did.
What was that about evacuation? I'm also going to give Liam a witness point as this is happening. Since Liam is closest to Adrian, he's going to reach over and grab basically like the front of his jacket, like whatever comes into contact first. And he's looking very pointedly at Miss Audley's pipe. You can see, since you do still have a feather, right?
Yes.
Okay. You can see what Liam saw with his witness, that the ghost coming up out of Miss Audley's pipe has become more pronounced and is leaning towards the suit of armor. And you can faintly hear it now as well. Over the chatter of Miss Audley going back and forth with Zachary and Daniel, we can hear that the ghost in the pipe says, arsenic, 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 arsenic. And you can feel it getting closer and closer to the suit of armor as it drifts in the wind and whips itself around.
Adrian is going to change tacks and go tackle that old woman. He's going to move her out of the way of the armor.
Oh, God. Gee, I really thought you were throwing me for a loop, and you're like,
No.
Miss Audley's been the big bad this whole time. I'm going to crush this old lady.
No, he's just afraid the ghost is trying to crush her with that suit of
Careful
armor.
of her old bones, Doctor.
He's gonna do his best.
Okay, so
So she's talking to them, totally unawares, and then suddenly Adrian is just beelining towards her, eyes gleaming
just give me a
as a
D20.
lightning flashes.
Give me a D20.
So cool tackling this old woman.
This is the face she's
great.
going to see in her nightmares from every night from this.
She gonna learn not to be nosy tonight. She gonna learn to stay in her own business tonight.
Tensions are high.
You got it.
You have
And rational thought is low.
Very.
Guy's like a cat.
Yeah. 7.
He trips.
Gonna bruise this old woman.
He falls down the stairs on his way to her.
So 7 still counts as a moderate success, but only just barely. Adrian starts moving so suddenly and so quickly that Liam is alarmed that something has happened and that you've been charmed in some way. I mean, he's still pretty worried from whenever you drank the liquid out of the vial. And so he kind of like has a little bit of a hand on the back of your sleeve.
Mhm.
And that makes you like stumble a little bit on the first step. Daniel and Zachary are in between you and Miss Audley. And so having that moment off balance actually pings you off of both of them like a little ping pong ball. And so you go bing bong, and then you're right in front of Miss Audley, and you put your hands on her, and you're kind of like steadying yourself at the same time that you're trying to move her. And once you start trying to push her, she says, "What on earth are you doing?" And she starts hitting you on the head with her
Let's
pipe.
go.
She starts like bopping you on the head. Restrain yourself, young man. What are you doing? And she's bopping you on the head. And then Nathaniel comes up.
Can we tumble to the floor in a comical way?
No, I'm not going to bruise this. You got a moderate, so I'm not going to bruise this old woman's bones.
Okay, Adrian's just hunched on the floor now, trying to cover his head.
Yeah, she's bopping you on the head with the pipe, and Nathaniel comes up. He's
We are the worst investigators.
Speak for yourself.
He asked us. This is Chess talking. Nathaniel asked us to come investigate, right? And then we have been obvious about everything we've been doing, yelling down the stairs, stealing things. It's all Adrian's fault.
Speak for yourself. Yeah, I was gonna say, like,
That's all Adrian.
Never been cut out for this. I'm a poet,
Tackling old women.
trying to protect her.
I'm going to need to use Liam's last witness to read the writing that they have uncovered. Since we didn't have very much time to actually investigate here before we were discovered, we were able to uncover 2 lines of writing.
2 lines.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-oh.
The top one, again, similar to before, is P-E-R. And then underneath that, we can see T-U-A. Nathaniel's here.
hi.
Good evening, everyone. I'm here to escort you back to your rooms for the evening. It's getting quite late.
Adrian's being hit over her head. No, you can't actually. Sorry.
Miss Audley, I promise these gentlemen will not bother you anymore. I'm so sorry for whatever disturbance they may have caused you. Well, that's all well and good, but what's this about evacuation? Is everything all right here in the house? What's this horrible stain here on the wall? I apologize for the, experiences that you've had here this evening, but I think after a good night's sleep, we can all address this in the morning, and I promise you will be compensated for whatever inconvenience they may have caused you. Now, if I may, and now behind Nathaniel, you see the waitstaff from before. In fact, several of the waitstaff have now made their way up, standing behind Nathaniel in a sort of grim array, smiling pleasantly.
Liked what you heard? Let us know by using hashtag #DandiesInDanger over on our Twitter, Insta, Tumblr, and TikTok in the listed links below. We'd love to hear any and all comments, questions, and theories as to where the story might be headed. Want to support us and our lads' adventures more directly? Then please consider clicking on the link and becoming a patron today. For just $1, you can gain access to our longer, uncensored outtakes and blooper reels. For $5, you can have access to exclusive stickers, in-world letters written by and for the lads, poetry by Adrian and Daniel, and original music from the show composed and scored by Chess Albanese. Can't afford to support directly? No problem. Podcasts survive by word of mouth, so if you like what you heard, tell your friends, family, and local graveyard ghosts all about these exciting tales. Thank you, and we'll see you next time. Dandies in Danger is written and voiced by Elijah Bergateris as Zachary Wilkos. Cast as Liam Bardsley, Chess Albanese as Daniel Pritchard, and Toast as Adrian Edwards. It is edited by Toast. Original score and music composed by Chess Albanese. It is produced by Dandies team, and made possible by listeners like you.